Yo, yo, what it do? Earth signs, how y'all doing? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We gonna take a little look here tonight and see what's going on with your ex. So, past person. If you're not dealing with, interested in, or inquiring about somebody you have a past history with, then this would not be for you. This is going to be one mini reading for each earth sign, one for Taurus, one for Virgo, and one for Capricorn. So, for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, the information is in the description. And for those of you who didn't catch the memo, we made a slight change to the weekly live readings, okay? So I'm still doing the weekly live $25 readings, but we've moved it to Sunday instead of Saturday, okay? Everything is still the same. You can still pre-order anytime on my website. They're read in the order of which they come in, but from now on, it's every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, okay? All right, I'm still doing 24-hour readings only, though, for the full personal readings. And for the month of March, I've decided to break out my course on manifesting financial abundance. That's a special course, man. There's some special Easter eggs in that course. And it's not just about finances either. Once you pick up on these little Easter eggs, you can manifest fucking anything because it all works the same way. But in that course, I actually put the quantum physics behind how manifestation works. That's the one thing nobody else fucking talks about. I learned it from a former NASA scientist. So that's in that course. That'll be available all March long. April 1st, it's going bye-bye. So the link for that's in the description as well. All right, y'all. Taurus, let's see how your ex be feeling about you. What's their feelings? What's their energy? What kind of person are they in general? All that good stuff. What's their intentions? Knight of Swords reversed. Well, it don't really look like they're trying to talk to you. Hang on, let me see what else comes through with that. 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Boom! Oh, 5 of Swords. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right, well, I don't know. It looks like they're holding on to some anger and some bitterness. But they don't want you to know that. It's kind of weird. They don't want you to know that they have any kind of feelings at all. But yeah, they're still holding on to a little bit of anger and bitterness. So that means they still feel some type of way, right? Some type of way. If they didn't feel no type of way, they wouldn't be angry or bitter, would they? Can you think of a person that you feel no type of way about? Are you mad at them? No. Are you bitter about anything? No. I don't feel no type of way about that person. I ain't mad about none of that. So obviously they still feel some type of way. They do still feel karmically tied to you. That's all I'm really getting here, dude. All I'm really getting. They're still holding on to some anger and bitterness. And I do think that it is kind of weighing on them too. I think so. But they don't want you to know. They want to act so cold, so careless. They want you to think that they've forgotten about your existence. I don't think that's true. Magician reversed. For those of you who dealt with somebody that you know dabbles in metaphysics and esoterics, I guarantee you they've tried to throw some black magic at you. I know that's not all of you, but it's always a couple of you every time I say that. If that resonates with you, don't feed it fear and don't feed it anger. All that does is feed it more power. Just reject it. It's really is that simple. As long as you can catch it, that's the tricky part, is catching it. Okay, I don't have time to dig that whole thing up here for this video. But as long as you can catch it and identify it, all you got to do is reject it. And it has to leave. It has no choice. Anyway, though. So, all right, well, let's see if they're taking any kind of action towards you. Is this person taking any kind of action towards Taurus, universe? Past person. Are they taking any kind of action? 10 of coins. All right. Now, they are putting on a show for you, though. They are putting on a show for you, hoping that you're watching. So whatever that means, I don't know if you have a social media or they have a social media that you could look at, or maybe if you know somebody that knows them and they're hoping that, you know, there's talk going through the grapevine. I don't know, but they are putting on a show for you. And when I say putting on a show, that does mean that it's bullshit. That's the 7 of Swords, by the way. It is bullshit, so I don't care what you're hearing about this person or what you're seeing or what it looks like they're doing. It's bullshit. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of action here. So let's get the advice. What's the advice? What is the advice for Taurus? What is the best advice for the Taurus family? Boom. Woo, the Emperor. Hold up. Pow, 10 of Swords reversed. Don't even think about nothing until you've done some healing from this. I do think that reconnecting with this person could be beneficial to you one of these days, but not until you've done some healing. Do some healing, especially if this was fresh. Honestly, this feels like one of two things. This feels like something that either ended recently or you haven't done enough healing. If this wasn't recent, you still have some healing you need to do, okay? And it's okay, it's all good. Most people struggle with healing. But if this was longer ago than a couple of years or a year or longer, there's some healing that needs to be done. Quite a bit. And healing is much more extensive than just waiting. Okay? I don't care how long it's been. Time does not heal wounds. Can't stand it when people say that shit, man. Every time I hear somebody say time heals all wounds, I want to slap the shit out of them. Tell that to somebody with childhood trauma. If time healed all wounds, there would be no such thing as childhood trauma, because it doesn't. But I do think that conversation will be beneficial. It'll probably help you release this a little bit better. It probably will. But I'm being left with very little wiggle room here. It's saying right now would not be a good idea to have a conversation with this person. That's just what it's telling me. That's what it's telling me. And believe it or not, you have a lot more power and control over this situation than you know. I don't care what it looks like this person's doing. You have a lot more power than you know. I think you take up quite a bit of space in this person's head. You do. And you know what would exercise more power than anything? Your silence. Your silence. At the end of the day, nothing digs under a toxic person's skin more than being ignored. You think giving them a reaction is going to prove your point? No, it's going to prove their point. Damn, let me break out a little bit of sage here, man. That was kind of heavy. Clear the air just a little bit here. Let's get some Palo Santo going. Hang on, Virgo. Taurus is dealing with some heavy shit and kind of filled the air with some heavy ass fucking energy. All right. Okay. All right, Virgo. Let's see what's up with you. Virgo. How does Virgo's ex feel about him? Past person. Person Virgo dealt with in the past. What are their thoughts, feelings, and opinions, hopes, dreams, expectations? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? King of Pentacles. Huh. Hang on. All right. Seven of Wands reversed. All right. Well, wow. So where do I start? Well, okay, let's just go ahead and start with this. Okay. I mean, this does still weigh very heavily on them. If you're wondering whether or not they've moved on and they're happy, the answer is no. However, they are in the process of moving on and healing. Death card, 8 of Cups. For some reason, in their mind, it's over. It's over. Done. Done. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why they think that, but like it's getting back with you is no option in their mind. Did you say something that would indicate that you have no interest in ever speaking to them again? Or maybe what they did was just so stupid that nobody in their right mind would let somebody back into their life that did what they did. Or I don't know. I have no clue. I can only speculate why they just feel like they have no choice but to move forward, move on. But they are genuinely working on healing from this. They're not healed from it, but they are working on healing from this and getting over this. But yeah, I mean, it bothers them. They are still burdened by this. It does still weigh on them very heavily. Okay. Well, it could be a Capricorn for some of you. I also have Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo. Could be anybody, y'all. Those are just energies. All right. And they're focusing on their work, their finance, their money. Looks like that's what they're doing, is they're taking to the workplace to, I guess, distract themselves from this so they don't have to think about it. Okay. Well, let's see if they're going to take any action. Are they taking action towards Virgo? Are they taking action towards Virgo? Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Hang on. King of Pentacles again, man. It's looking like they're moving on from this. Now, they are planning to get closure with you. They don't know when exactly. They don't know when. And again, it depends on how fresh this is. To be honest with you, this doesn't feel... This doesn't feel like the freshest situation in the world, but it doesn't feel like the oldest either. Feels like the majority of you that need to hear this. This kind of feels like something that probably happened around the middle of 2024, maybe in the beginning of 2024. It doesn't feel the freshest, but it doesn't feel the oldest either. But regardless, whether it was last year or the year before, no matter when it was, they do plan to get closure whenever it feels right, whenever there's an open door of opportunity. And yeah, that's what they plan. But for now, they're moving on from this and letting the tower burn to the ground without taking any action to extinguish the flames. Okay, well, what's the advice? What's the advice for Virgo? What's the advice? Ooh, Knight of Wands reversed. Lover's card reversed. Three of Swords. Well, Five of Pentacles. Well, I think that this is tricky because the advice here really depends on how long ago this happened. I think the advice is going to be slightly different depending on how long ago it happened. For those of you dealing with a situation that's not really all that fresh, okay? A year, 6 months to a year. I think a closure message would be, I think that would be acceptable. Like if this was last year this time, y'all parted ways last March, April, May, somewhere in there. I think a closure message is acceptable. I think so. Now, if this was fresh, I still think a closure message would be acceptable. Because no matter what you want to do, you have to close the old cycle out first, period. Even if you want to reconcile. Because reconciliation is possible, but you're still going to have to straighten out the old energy first. Now, if this was fresh, a closure message, that would be okay. But what would more than likely end up happening is it would probably hurt worse. It would probably set you back a few steps. And the question is, do you want to take the chance of doing that? If you do want to attempt reconciliation, remember, the primary law is the law of vibration. The secondary law is the law of attraction. It don't matter what you did or didn't do. It doesn't matter who's in the right or who's in the wrong. Energy is just energy. In order to reconcile successfully, both people involved have to bring a new energy back to the connection. Both people involved. Both. So that's why, especially if this was an older situation, a year or longer, go ahead and get that closure and then feel the energy out. Feel it out. See if you even are interested in reconciliation after you feel the energy out. Because I am getting, for some of you, there could be potential for reconciliation here. But the energy has to be just right. It has to be just fucking right. But I think the reconciliation would have the best chance for success for those of you dealing with a situation that's older. Honestly. Now, I'm not saying a reconciliation attempt couldn't happen if this was recent. I'm just saying that the more recent it was, the greater chance you have of a repeat cycle. because the energy that manifested the separation is still so fresh that it'll just manifest itself all over again the exact same way. The more recent this was, okay? So just pay attention to the energy. Approach the situation with some energetic awareness and energetic intelligence, okay? All right, Capricorn. Capricorn. Let's see how your ex be feeling about you, though. Hang on, I ain't feeling that deck. How about this one? My favorite deck duo. So when I very first started reading tarot, matter of fact, Capricorn was my biggest audience for some reason. I don't know why. And the deck duo that I first started out using was the Tarot of Dreams and the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. This was my first deck duo. It wasn't these exact decks, but, you know, it was a copy of these same 2 decks here. So, I'm going to use this for y'all. Capricorn, how your ex be feeling about you? Two more shuffles, 2 more. Boom. Oh, the strength card. Some of you dealt with a Leo, possibly. Okay. Well, they do want to talk to you. I think this person does want to talk to you. They've tried to get your attention a few times, but it didn't work. So they're not trying that no more. I just can't really figure out exactly why they want to talk to you. I can't figure that out. And when this comes through like this, let me get a couple more clarification cards before I say this. Hang on. The big missing puzzle piece here. Yeah, see, 8 of Swords. See, 8 of Cups. That's what the fuck. Okay, so when this comes through like this, usually what it means is they're nosy and they just want to know how you feel about them. They're just curious. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that that's the end-all, be-all, but I don't think they've thought it through, you know? Like, it drives them nuts wondering how you feel about them. They're constantly wondering how you feel about them. But they haven't thought through, for example, what if you all were to bump into each other at the grocery store and you was to spill your heart out and tell them how much you still love and miss them? Then what? What would happen after that? They're not thinking about that. They're not thinking about that. They're just living in fantasy land, convinced that you still love and miss them. And I would imagine that if you're here watching this video, they're probably right. And they just want that confirmed, but they don't know why. Does it make sense? Obviously, they must feel some type of way. If they didn't feel no type of way, they wouldn't give 2 diddly dog shits about how you feel, would they? So obviously, at the deepest level, they still feel something. They still feel something. They want to talk to you, but I think all they really want to know is how you feel about them. Okay, well, are they taking action towards you? Whoops. Is this person taking action towards Capricorn? Are they taking action towards you? Wow. Same exact card that jumped out in the very last spread, the Strength card. Again, could be a Leo for some of you, but now they're holding back and resisting temptation and biting their tongue. Ten of Cups reverse. They think about you all the time. But the blocked communication card and the card of holding back and staying quiet, it don't look like it. It don't look like it. They don't see a good open door of opportunity. Anytime you hear me mention an open door of opportunity, I'm referring to the Four of Wands, and they don't see that. They don't see a good open door of opportunity, so they're holding back and staying quiet. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Capricorn? What is the advice? Seven of Cups reversed. Whoops. Two more. Ooh, Queen of Swords. So this is saying that it wouldn't be a very good idea to let this person know how you feel. So I got some wiggle room here. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you what the cards are saying. And then I'm going to meet you in the middle. I'm going to twist it and bend it to give you some freedom to play with it a little bit if you want. So first of all, the cards are telling me do not show this person any emotion at all. If you were to come running back to this person right now and spill your guts out and let them know how you feel, you got about a 98% chance of a repeat cycle. They would probably start playing with it. A person like that who just is dying to know how you feel, right? They're more than likely wanting to know how you feel so they can know what buttons they need to push. And long story short, you know that never ends up going anywhere. Now, what I will say is something in the middle there. If you want to reach out to this person, keep them at a very, very safe and healthy arm's distance. Still don't, well, let me back that up a little bit. Be very picky and choosy what you let them know about how you feel about what. When it comes to your feelings, be very reserved. And let this person in very, very, very slowly. Make sure they respect your boundaries. Be sure they respect your boundaries before you even consider letting them in. Okay? If they don't respect your boundaries, do not let them in. Okay? I know we've talked about this. I remember talking to you about this specifically over the last few weeks. But this is one of the quickest, easiest ways to find out whether or not somebody's trying to manipulate you. Set a boundary. Set a boundary. A person who is not trying to manipulate you will respect your boundaries and your decisions, even if it doesn't benefit them. A person who is trying to manipulate you will not respect your boundaries. They will do everything they can to cross that boundary. And at first, they'll probably be very clandestine about it. And the more firm you are, the more frustrated they get. And you keep your foot down. You don't budge. You don't waver. You don't backslide. You don't bend. You don't fold. You don't break. You don't give in. Eventually, they're going to blow the fuck up on you and throw a fit. Eventually, when they don't get their way. And that tells you every fucking thing you need to know. Everything you need to know. Now, if you set a boundary and you start noticing that this person is respecting your boundaries, then maybe let them in slowly. Let them in slowly. Do not even consider letting this person in until you see that they respect you. Okay? because this doesn't need to turn into a game of control. You need to make sure that they aren't trying to just take control of you. Okay? All right, y'all. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Earth sign family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is in the description. All right, y'all. I'm out of here now. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.